anyone that ever said I did it for the views. Deathlands are a 5-piece band from La Puente, California. And while they have elements of punk and hardcore, Deathlands is a band not easily defined. They share some musical DNA with Green Day in that it's the strand that causes a firing of all cylinders. And that should be enough to hook at least 6.7 million followers. But Deathlands are building up in 2024, nearing 200,000. I think Cold World is going to do wonders for their already impressive numbers. Punk rock forever! Cold World. Cold World is Deathlands' 4th album. I'm leaning in right here. It's their 4th album, so there's already a lot of band history for us to enjoy and digest, or ingest and dejoy. Cold World opens up with Effed Up, which is sonically kind of sounds much more melodic and optimistic, but in the same style as Idols. Punk rock in the hardcore flavors brought out to its mainstream best. And remember, mainstream does not mean bad unless you're a reptilian poopit. Disturb the Peace rip roars up like a whitewater rafting trip with dark and brooding guitars, drums that were present in my introduction to the band, the classic single, the title track, Cold World, which in my opinion is a contender for Song of the Year, but we'll get there. We'll talk about that later. Distrust the Peace, Disturb the Peace. I'm sorry, I'm talking about Cold World when I should be praising Disturb the Peace. And I called it by a different name. Disturb the Peace is wonderful, it's beautiful, I love you. Hit the wikey white button, please. Boof, boof, boof. If that perfect punk rock sound isn't doing it for you on the first 3 tracks of this record, Turnout is the 3rd. You can skip ahead and jump in the limousine with the boys on track 4. Be ready to fight because this one is thrash and minimalist noise rock brought to a heartbeat minimum. And it's crazy writing. It's the craziest songwriting that I've heard in a very long while. So check it out. Lead singer Brian Torres shines on Nothing's Forever. I got to get a little closer to you guys. Another song that shows off a different side of the Deathlands. It's that pop rock sound with a Weezer Blue Album guitar in it, if you can believe it, and harmonies that are built of screaming pain. God help me! God help me! Complete with an emotional acoustic number at the end of the album, Cold World is an album that takes Turnstile and Idols influences and turns them into something fresh rather than rehashing what those bands have already done with this kind of sound, this kind of experimentation. Heck, the song Vacant, I can hear Sex Pistoling going on, but there's more than that going on in the title, the lyrics identifying as being a V word, and V words are tight. Bruised takes the pop punk side of Deathlands and spreads it over the bread of their sound with a butter knife, a true indie triumph bop. I don't want to leave every stone unturned when talking about this record because I want you to enjoy it like I enjoyed it. So if you like what we've already heard, or you like how I'm describing this album, I want you to check out Memory Hotline and Not Enough, just going in blind and just listen to them without my opinion doing anything to change how you interact with these songs by Deathlands. It seems like they're going to be the deeper cuts, but I think they're really special, and I want you to listen to them without my opinion. But now we have to talk about the title track yet again. Cold World. Let me show. Cold World starts off with bouncy synths over a hard rock group before Brian shouts, "Mishandled, slow learner food." 1,000 youths are going through this. The same thing that he's going through in this song, this anthem. That's what it's all about. That chorus says it all. Want pride. I want love. Pride will never let me show. That one line just breaks my fucking heart. It's like an Elton John song, man.
One song, copyrighted down to it. One cover, I would love to do it, but I can't. Yeah.
A man like me is dead in place. Oh God, places.
Robert Downey Jr. walking around a house. This is the closest I can get to copyrighted. I want love.
That's kind of what we get with Deathlands here. It's like an Elton John song, man. What are we doing? Cold World. Whew. Cold World. Something's got to give you no. And as we get into the last chorus, that goodbye cruel world in parentheses, that backing vocal, it could have easily been cringe, but it isn't. It's not here. It's perfect for the context of this song, and I cannot say enough about Cold World. It's a song that got me into Deathlands, and therefore it's kind of, in a weird way, kind of like the Good Riddance to Green Day. Cold World is a pop-punk album at heart, I believe, with ingredients from post-punk, hardcore, pop rock, and other genres, as Brian, Matt, John, Ed, and Tony are a band unique in this wild world of 2024 here on Earth, the planet Earth, in the solar system of Sol. And Deathlands have this wonderful, wonderful album called Cold World. It's a 4.7 out of 5 after all that I've said about it. And you know what? I'll make it a 5 out of 5 if I get $1 in profits from this video. I'm just kidding. It's a 5 out of 5.